Kayla here with you in Grand Prairie, Texas at Lone Star Skate Park. This is the first of 2 X Trials, which puts us very close to X Games in Philadelphia. Right now, let's talk about Inline, all right? Take a look at the heat list for the Vert Finals. You got Japan, Tasmania, Australia, Brazil. All those people are qualified for the X Games. There's a small contingent of dudes from PA that are trying to compete in the X Games in Philadelphia. Why? Because it's PA. Who are some of those guys? Well, you got Matt Lindemuth with the double backflip. You know he might be able to come through, along with Joe Ackler and Mark Engelhardt. Those 3 guys, they are going to battle it out. The contest is really between them. So let's just get to it, see who it's going to be here at the X Trials.
Well, Sal summed it up pretty well. Joe Ackler, a very, very strong skater on vert, bit of a technician, does some really technical tricks. The battle's really between the Pennsylvania boys. Yes, we do have a pretty world-class field, including the Yasutokos, Fabiola da Silva, but the show is on.
Joe Ackler starting out with a very good run. He threw in this flat spin 540.
Check him out, no knee pads. Real squatty style, strong like John Bergeron used to do on the vert.
A real similar style to John Bergeron. Nice that you should mention that. Mixing up the technicality, showing some difficult lip tricks, and just as we say that, going into the alley topside porn star on the extension.
Now Joe's taken a bit of a respite from the Pro Tour, hasn't skated in about 17 months on the tour, but obviously he's still been skating in Pennsylvania, just falling, but you know what? With 3 seconds left, that's not really going to hurt his score too bad.
It's a true spin alley topside porn star, doing it on the highest point on the vert ramp, and then coming back the other way with a 450 to alley-oop soul. He actually won a best trick contest with that trick a couple of years ago.
So Joe Ackler sets the stage, a 74.75, solid first run score.
Got it down to 10 competitors. Everyone's going to get 2 50-second runs. Only the 1 run counts, the best score. So everyone's going to be able to go crazy, do their hardest tricks, and we'll see who ends up on the podium.
3 Pennsylvania boys, they all have big tricks. Lindy landed the double backflip the first time. Engelhardt's got a couple huge ones himself.
Keep in mind that these PA guys, they don't have to win this contest. They just have to beat the other 2 guys from Pennsylvania. Mark Engelhardt knows that. He's trying to bring out his big trick, going 540 disaster. He doesn't land
I'm really determined to make it to the X Games this year. It's in Philly. It's like half an hour from where I live. And I just think it would be great. I mean, the first time I made it was last year. I've been having trouble. Like, the X Games has been really hard to get into for me for some reason. I don't know. I just really want to get in.
Mark Engelhardt's nerves, I seem to be getting at him. He went for the 540 flat spin, paid the price. Joe Ackler leads right now, but Fabiola, now she's already a lock at X.
Fabiola is such a tremendous competitor. She's been battling a severe case of the flu for the past several days. Actually spent the day in the hospital coming into this event, but still wanted to get out there to battle it out.
Qualified with all the men, check this out. You've got Eito Yasutoko, Shane Yoss, Takeshi Yasutoko, Mike Budnick, almost all of the world's best. Eito Yasutoko, of course, 2-time X Games gold medalist on the vert ramp.
Yet Eito finds himself qualified for this finals event in second place, right behind his younger brother, Takeshi Yasutoko. So it's sibling rivalry of the highest order. And now Eito's got to battle his younger brother for supremacy on the ramp. Showing off those switch spins, going both ways, getting a little squirrely on the setup here, which is uncharacteristic. Eito usually doesn't waste a single wall out there. Known for using the entire 65 seconds. Here he goes, fast plant to soul grind up on the extension, and then comes back the other way, fast plant to alley fish brain. So it's a nice combination from Eito, really working the lift. Coming back, setting up backside, setting up mute air, and then another wasted wall. This actually, it's for as good as this run looks, it is not a great run for Eito. He's wasted a few walls and then falling down on the 1080.
That trick, huge, 1080 flat spin. There was one of the more solid airs, the big rocket looking away, but he wasted a ton of walls getting ready for this and went down right at the end.
Tell me, do they put you in the little small bed at home if you come second?
It's an interesting time for Takeshi because
I think if he actually knew what Paul was talking about, he'd tell you no, they don't really care. But Eito Yasutoko, regardless of the falls, sits on top, 87.50. go. More Vert when we come back. X Trials is brought to you by the 2001 Aztec from Pontiac, now offering VersaTrack all-wheel drive. By Taco Bell. And by 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. Welcome back to Grand Prairie, Texas. Here on the Vert ramp, you're looking at Takeshi Yasutoko. He qualified first coming into this final, but his older brother, Eito Yasutoko, the two-time X Games champion right now, sits on top. Another battle also taking place. Matt Lindemuth, one of 3 Pennsylvania boys, trying to qualify for 1 spot to the X Games.
You could not have written a better script for this. Only 3 guys out of this field have not qualified for the X Games, and they're all from Pennsylvania. It's coming to their hometown. They all want to get there. Oh no, and Matt, the nerves getting to him. He wants it so bad, going down the 540.
Now, I can tell you something. He came up to me right before the event. The reason he fell on this 540, such a routine trick, is he said he wanted to throw a double backflip after that 540. You know, he was just anticipating the trick. He was 1 trick ahead.
You're absolutely right. He's landed the double backflip in a best trick contest, but he's never thrown it in the middle of a run. So that's definitely, oh my goodness.
I got a little close to the coping, so sketchy. Look at the commitment. 2 times around, just got way too close to the coping on that.
Yeah. I think I was too nervous about the flip, so I messed up a 540.
You got me nervous.
I don't know. I got 1 more run, so I'm gonna put it all together.
So what's going through your head? Qualify for X Games, get the double backflip.
Nah, double backflip. Yeah. I got plenty of time to qualify for X.
A lot of people would say you're crazy.
That's all right. This trick means a lot to me.
You see his single-minded focus, he's going to nail that again.
So we go from the rivalry between the Pennsylvania skaters into the rivalry of the best all-around ranked skaters in the world, Sam Fogarty and Mike Budnick. Both these guys came out kind of lethargic in the first round, but they've been battling against each other all season long for best all-around bragging rights. Now, Mike Budnick knows a thing or two about rivalries. He's got some opinions about the sibling rivalry going on between Eito and Takeshi. Can Takeshi beat his older brother Eito at the X Games?
I don't think so. I think Takeshi right now is at a plateau. He's kind of doing the same things over and over again. And the thing right now is Eito is really trying to progress himself, and he's trying new, harder tricks, crazy tricks, and it's costing him a little bit because he's not used to falling. And now with these new, really hard tricks he's trying, he's starting to fall a little bit and bang himself up a little bit. But I mean, he's looking down the road, and come X Games time, we're going to see some crazy stuff from Eito.
You reckon 3 in a row?
Absolutely.
What about you?
I'll be up there.
Well-deserved confidence. Mike Budnick's a very consistent skater, unlike this guy, Shane Yost. When he is on, he's virtually untouchable, earning himself the #1 ranking last season. When he's not on, it's a nightmare.
That is so true. It is a case of extremes with Shane Yost. Either he's at the top of the field or at the bottom of the field. It all has to do whether or not he can stay on his feet for the full 65 seconds.
1 run down, and he finds himself in 8th. Now, Takeshi Yasutoko. A lot of pressure for him. He's got big shoes to fill, that of his older brother Eito, but he has been absolutely amazing.
Look at these huge airs from Takeshi Yasutoko, and then the upside down, the signature move, the Viking flip, coming straight into the switch 540.
Wow.
Yep, forward 900 from Takeshi Yasutoko. So one of the things that a lot of people have been getting excited about with Takeshi is the height on those airs. He holds them for so long, and he puts them back-to-back, a lot of big airs. Now the rap against him is that he doesn't have the big tricks like his brother does to finish the runs. And if he wants to beat Eito in the rest of this field, he's got to have a flawless run. You saw him put his hand down on the soul grind. That's not going to do it. Flying 360 into the frontside Royale. That's a good maneuver for Takeshi Yasutoko. And then finishing it off with the 900, and that's what I'm talking about. He cannot finish the run with an exclamation point like his brother can.
Yeah, 900 McTwist, a big trick, but you know what? He already did it once earlier in the run.
Flying 360 in the frontside Royale. It's a great lip trick for Takeshi Yasutoko. And then here's the finish to his run. We already saw it once. And when his brother's throwing a 1080 at the end of his run, that 900 is just not going to cut it.
But remember, Eito took a fall, so Takeshi sits on top right now after one round. The pressure of the world getting even thicker. Mark Engelhardt looking for that one spot to the X Games.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt Lindenmuth.
This is Ryan Dawes from Dallas, Texas. We're in where are we?
We're here at the X Trials in Grand Prairie, Texas, getting ready to start another take.
All right. This is Ryan Dawes, and you're in
We're gonna die in this humidity.
Did you know that?
She's amazing as she puts her line. Welcome back to Grand Prairie and the Vert Ramp. One run down. Matt Lindenmuth feeling the anticipation. He's one of 3 skaters. Himself, Mark Engelhardt, and Joe Ackler, all Pennsylvania boys looking for the big show. One spot left to go to the X Games in Pennsylvania. Fabiola da Silva, she's never missed the X Games. As a matter of fact, she's medaled every time she's been there.
Skating despite a serious illness. She's been in bed with the flu for the past several days. She actually even had to go to the hospital. She had some trouble in the first round. You could tell she was tired. Now if she can stay on her feet, whoa, 720, rotating so late on that last 180. That's a new trick for her this season. It looks really great. That's what she fell on in the first round. Now going alley-oop 270 to the backside Royale, already having a much better run than she had in the first round. You know, Fabiola would love nothing more than to be in stride to medal at the X Games, be at the top of her game. Flat spin 540. And I tell you what, the way that she's skating right now, she looks like she's got a great shot at doing it. She is skating as well as the top guys out there. 0 spin into the invert.
Now, 2 years ago, Fabiola and the rest of the women started competing with the men. Back then, maybe the judges once or twice gave a little extra to Fabiola. No longer. Now they treat her just like one of the guys, and she is out here making her mark against them. Check this out. Beautiful 540 flat spin. She comes up 720, one of the most difficult rotations anybody's doing out here.
Fabiola, we know one thing for sure. You're definitely first in the women.
It's only me.
Is it getting lonely out there? You know, you're the only woman out there every week.
No, I mean, sometimes it's boring, but I like it because it pushes me to do better, you know? So I like skating like this.
Well, it may be lonely, but she sits pretty solid against all the men. Manuel Beliers, after his first round, was in 5th.
Manuel Beliers having a good run. Stale 540. Now, Manuel Beliers was one of the first guys coming out of Australia. And since then, they've had such a strong and powerful legacy. Nice to see Manuel still competitive out there.
Speaking of competition, the most competitive battle, the Pennsylvania battle. Mark Engelhardt is out of it. Had a horrible second run, which opens the door for only 2 looking for that spot. Joe Ackler and Matt Lindenmuth. Joe going for the huge 9er, a 74.75, so he can't better his score.
Break it down like this.
Worst problem with the airlines?
We were coming back from LA to Melbourne. We had to do an emergency landing in Sydney because we had no fuel left.
I've never had anything crazy happen to me on like a plane. A little turbulence, but that's about it.
He said we weren't going to make it to Melbourne, and it's only an extra 45 minutes of flying time. So we must have been pretty close to dying.
Our sponsors, they used to get these weird tickets, like make you fly everywhere.
Let's just go from Philadelphia to Denver. It's supposed to be like a 3-hour flight nonstop.
3 connections, 4 connections, just to get to one place. It like sucks, you know?
Finally got on America West flight to Las Vegas, which wasn't Denver. And then the closest they could get me was Salt Lake City. You know those phones that are in the back of the headrests and it has the cord on it? We pulled that out and looped it around a friend's neck in front of us and then clipped it back in just as a joke. But it actually like pulled tight and started choking him, and it got jammed and no one could get it out. I had to go do a demo that day, and I finally got to Denver. And I was actually supposed to go to Vail. The stewardesses really freaked out and they didn't like us too much. I got there about 5 minutes before I had to start my demo. I was supposed to be there about 24 hours earlier.
Matt Lindenmuth focused on X and the double back. He's been trying at Woodward.
You've been riding with Matt a lot of Woodward, that double backflip. What do you think his chances are, man?
I watched him pull it last week at a contest. Took him a few tries, but he stuck it. So, I know he can pull it. I watch him pull it every day on the resi. So, yeah, I definitely know he can pull it.
The evolution of tricks sometimes brings athletes from all the sports together. A whole contingent of top bikers right now watching Matt Lindemuth as he nails his 540.
That's where he went down in the first round. If he can stay in control of his adrenaline, big 720, a powerful run so far from Matt Lindemuth, and he needs to have a great one. Locking on alley-oop sole, and then upside down with the invert. Coming back on the other side with the backside fast slide. And you know, the whole time he's thinking about that double backflip. In the first round, the adrenaline got the best of him, but right here in the second round, it appears to be helping him out. There it is. Oh my goodness, and coming right down on his shin on top of the coping. That was a similar problem that he had in the first round, where he got on over the coping.
You know, if I were a judge, I'd be right at that cusp right now. Matt Lindemuth, even without the double backflip, which he fell down pretty darn hard on, he still had an amazing run.
Well, you give him points for going for it and throwing it at the end of the run. It didn't hurt his line too much. My goodness, falling down so hard on it. And keep in mind, trying to throw that at the end of the run makes it so much more difficult. I mean, he doesn't have his legs, he's exhausted, and he's got to try and get enough height to pull that double backflip.
A 77.75 might as well be 100 because Matt Lindemuth is going to the X Games. There's still a battle going on for first place here in Texas. The Yasutoko brothers and Sam Fogarty still the skate. Yep, we're back. It's crunch time. 3 guys to go. Takeshi, Eito, and Sam Fogarty, who sits in 5th place right now. The big battle for first place. Sam Fogarty is a dark horse, a long shot, but you never know if he skates his best.
Well, he can certainly skate better than he did in the first round. He didn't seem to have very much energy in the first round. In the second round, coming out, here we go, upside down 540, and now utilizing that extension. Those grinds are one of Sam's strengths, and he really shied away from it in the first round. Setting up with some airs, another 540 the other way. There's a flat spin 360, one of just a couple of guys who does that on the tour. Again, not the most dynamic run, but he is staying on his feet. And now here's the strength of his run. X grind. Setting up and coming back the other way. Kind grind going alley-oop on the top side. Mizu. So you can see, when you watch this run, you can tell that it's not going to be competitive with the top guys, with Eito and Takeshi. It just lacked the energy, and he didn't pack in as many tricks, but he did utilize the extension, got some good lip tricks, and then finishes with a fakie 900. So he will improve on his first round. A pretty good run for Sam Fogarty.
Action-packed from the beginning all the way to the end, even throwing a little old-school front flip in there, Chris Edwards style. Working the coping very well. Not a ton of height, but big spins.
Back at 7.
Honey, I gotta tell you, that's one of the best runs I've seen you do all year. What's going on?
Well, it's kind of, when I fly over for a week to the States, just get really tired and not in the rhythm. I've been here for about 3 weeks now at a friend's house in Escondido, so time to relax and just get into the swing of things. Makes a lot of difference. On street, I did well as well.
So Fogarty sits in 3rd. Now up, the Yasutoko brothers.
These guys grow up skating and training together, but they have 2 different styles. Look at this. Eito Yasutoko up in the air with the 900. Takeshi has his own version of it, but Takeshi does his signature move, the Viking flip. He's the only one who does it. His brother does not have anything like that. Now on the coping, a different approach. Eito Yasutoko doing the fast plant into the grinds. And then Takeshi has his own version. He does the backside into the sole grind. 2 different approaches to the coping. Now the key difference coming into this finals event, the second round, is the finishing tricks. Eito Yasutoko in the first round went for the 1080. Takeshi finished his run with the 900. Eito has the bigger finishing moves, but he's got to land them if he wants to beat his younger brother.
And here's where his line really turns up. 540 into a 900. The 540 is unnatural, the 900 is natural direction, and boom, right into a 720 flat spin.
When you talk about big tricks, Eito definitely leads his brother in that category. He's got the flat spin 720, the flat spin 1080. He's got a lot of tricks that he can finish the runs with. Eito's showing off those lip tricks that we talked about, fast land into him. Now coming back, setting up with a backside grind. Remember, he fell on the 1080 in the first round. He's got to land it if he wants to overtake his brother in the second round.
540 flat spin. He's not wasting as many walls as the first time around, and there's the 1080 flat spin.
And then straight into a fakie 900. That's a way to land it and show that you did it with authority. He landed the 1080 and still had enough composure to go right into the fakie 900.
Yeah, he looks excited. He should be excited.
That's absolutely right. He wanted that 1080. There's the forward 900, and now finishing the run. This is where he had problems in the first round. He lands the 1080, and he lands it so well, he goes straight into the fakie 900.
92.25 puts him in first. Younger brother Takeshi now has all the pressure.
He knows it too. He saw a great run from his brother. He knows he's going to have to bring out all the stops if he wants to overtake Eito Yasutoko. And to be honest with you, I don't know if he can do it. When Eito has a perfect run like he just did, it's very hard for anyone to beat him. And as we've mentioned a few times before, Takeshi does not have the finishing move to beat his brother.
And beyond that, watch his hands closely. Well, he's gone down, so obviously no shot. But when he gets back up, watch his hands and how he grabs his feet when he's in the air. He doesn't define them like his older brother does.
Well, Takeshi knew that he had to have a perfect run, and he may have even known that even if he did have a perfect run, it may not have been enough. Showing you some of the stuff he would have done, triple variation, but after that fall, there's just no chance. 360 into the frontside Royale. And you usually never see Takeshi Yasutoko go down a run, let alone 2 times in the same run. I think his nerves got the best of him after watching that super run by his brother.
Rene Holgreen, the old school European vert skater, created that. It's called a Viking flip. Takeshi now the only pro on tour to do it, then getting upside down with the 900 McTwist, but he goes down on it. So Takeshi Yasutoko will have to settle with his first run score, again looking up at his big brother Eito, who's on top. Matt Lindemuth earns his spot and wins the Pennsylvania rivalry, but the gold medalist 2 times in a row, Eito, wins here in Texas.
A wonderful day. What do you think about your runs today?
Today's run was it's okay, good. I feel.
You just think okay? You won.
Yeah, it's good, good.
So you're going for a 3rd straight X Games win. No one's done that before in inline skating. You're going in there nervous. You got a lot of pressure on you, do you think?
I have a pressure, for in this year's X Game, but it's okay. Yeah.
So the Yasutokos take home some more hardware back to the Good skate park in Japan. And with this 2nd place, Takeshi Yasutoko now becomes the #1 ranked vert skater in the world. When we come back, we're going to change gears, hit the streets with Ryan Dawes, and take it to the park course.